update. January 27, 2020, a county police officer shoots and kills handcuffed suspect William Green. While the officer, William Owen, is facing criminal charges, Prince George's officials today have reached a settlement with Green's family. Keisha Butts is standing by with the story.
Prince George's County reaches a $20 million settlement to the family of William Green. Authorities say a county police officer, Corporal Michael Owen, fatally shot Green while he was handcuffed. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks was joined by Green's family earlier this afternoon. His mother was sitting down crying during the announcement. Green's daughter says that he was the glue to their family.
While the criminal charges are still pending, I'm here this morning to announce that Prince George's County has reached a settlement agreement with the Green family for $20 million. Now, be clear, there is no price that you can put on the life of a son, a father, an uncle, a brother. There is no appropriate price tag to accompany a loss like that one.
William Green was loved deeply by his whole family. He was the glue that kept everyone together. He was kind, gentle, loving, and an all-around great man. He knew how to make people feel good. I could go on and on about my father, but at the end of the day, nothing I say or do will bring him back. So now I must be his voice. I must fight for justice for him. I must be the woman he was molding me to be. I must make sure you never forget his name, William Green.
William Green deserves to be celebrated. And like Billy said, his life absolutely mattered. And today is a message to law enforcement agencies and officers across this country that unlawful police violence against unarmed black men shall not go without a severe penalty.
Owen was indicted earlier this year on second-degree murder, manslaughter, and assault charges. According to a police report, Owen arrested Green after responding to a traffic incident in Temple Hills. Reports say Green was handcuffed and placed in the front of the cruiser, which is standard operating procedure. Witnesses say there was a struggle inside the cruiser between the officer and Green. Green's family's lawyers, they say that this is the highest settlement so far in Maryland. This is Keisha Butts with CTV News. Back to you.
Owen is currently awaiting trial, which is set for next year. A new Get Out the Vote initiative is coming to Prince George's County. Byron Scott has our story.
I'm Byron Scott. That new initiative is being put forth by State Attorney Aisha Braveboy. It's called Operation Protect the Vote for All. The program targets detainees and inmates at the detention facility and is essentially a voter registration Get Out the Vote drive. The state attorney has teamed up with the Board of Elections, the Prince George's Correctional Officers Association, and the NAACP.
You know, this is a very important election year. We need to get everybody registered to vote. But basically at the detention center, they really aren't incarcerated per se. They haven't lost any right because they haven't been charged with a crime. Okay, they're waiting to be charged. And therefore, they still have their right to vote. And so we want to make sure that those individuals participate in the process.
Braveboy is expected to unveil her plan later this week. I'm Byron Scott.
Utility companies can send out service termination notices as soon as next month. According to Baltimore Sun, the Public Service Commission has ruled that residents will have 45 days to address unpaid utility bills. Customers will not have their service shut off if they work out a payment plan or apply for energy assistance. Notices can begin going out on October 1st. A man wanted for killing his girlfriend in Shillham is taken into custody in North Carolina. Police say 22-year-old Winston Hughes was arrested in Raleigh yesterday. He's accused of shooting 25-year-old Fatima Kamara in their Shillham apartment 1 week ago today. He'll be extradited back to Prince George's, where he faces second-degree murder charges. President Donald Trump may claim he's worth billions, but according to the New York Times, he paid only $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and the same amount in 2017. In several other years, according to the report, he paid none at all. Trump was able to do so because his companies reported losing more money than they made. The New York Times obtained years' worth of tax return data that Trump long sought to keep private. The topic is likely to come up at tomorrow night's debate between Trump and Joe Biden. Starting this Thursday, a new law goes into effect that bans foam containers throughout the state. Maryland will become the first state in the nation to ban the carry-out containers. The law that goes into effect October 1st prohibits restaurants, schools, and other food service outlets from using polystyrene. It was scheduled to take effect July 1st, but due to pandemic-related shutdowns, officials allowed more time for businesses to use remaining stock. Montgomery, Prince George's, and Anne Arundel counties, as well as Baltimore City, already have existing bans on foam containers. Maryland continues to pursue a public-private partnership for toll lanes on I-270 and the Beltway, even as the state's Purple Line project is on the verge of collapse. During a briefing before the Prince George's County Council last week, state highway officials said they'll try to address issues earlier on the toll lane project. They say they'll work to refine designs and cost estimates before a deal is signed with a private contractor. Several county council members are concerned about the state's management of large-scale projects.
Everything from storm management to what they're deciding is the limit of disturbance, how it might affect some of our historic African-American cemeteries along the alignment, as well as our parks. In general, the council walked away with a lot of concerns about how this project is operating, and particularly the environmental impact assessment, which right now is what people are weighing in on.
In addition, because of the P3 problems with the new light rail system, are there concerns about that as well?
There is a lot of concern. So, experience with the Purple Line project and the challenges that have been encountered are really raising concerns about whether the state can pull off a massive P3 project for roads.
State officials say they want to ensure that private contractors for the 270 Beltway project use no state contributions and that they'll reimburse the state for any costs related to an environmental study. Prince George's County is hosting a Census Day for the Latino community tomorrow in Riverdale. Hosted by the County Executive's Office, it's to encourage Latinos to complete the 2020 census. More than 700 free meals will also be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. Latino liaison Katina Rojas says the goal is to have everyone fill out the 10-year count.
In order for me to make sure that the local public school has a pre-K, that the local hospital has enough service and people to serve that community, we need to know how many people are in a jurisdiction. A new business is not going to come to a jurisdiction if they don't know how many people are there.
The event will take place tomorrow at 4 p.m. at Tanglewood Park in Riverdale. The deadline for the 2020 census is in 2 days. Governor Larry Hogan has extended the deadline to apply for 2020 homeowner and renter tax credits. The deadline has been moved from October 1st to October 31st. According to the governor, the two tax credit programs save residents $65 million a year. The tax credit programs set limits on taxes due relative to income. On average, homeowners can save $1,300. Renters can save more than $400. For more information, call 410-767-4433. Metro wants to hear from you regarding its proposed cuts. The transit agency says its public comment period is now underway. Metro says it has to slash more than $200 million from the budget because federal CARES Act funding will run out by the end of the year. The board of directors has proposed service cuts and reductions along with layoffs and furloughs. The public comment period runs through October 19th at 9 a.m. You can leave feedback at wamata.com/budget. A man is dead after an SUV crashes into a house in Seat Pleasant over the weekend. Firefighters responded to the 5900 block of Addison Road early Saturday morning. When crews arrived, they found an SUV engulfed in flames and the fire extending to the home. According to reports, the vehicle hit a utility pole and crashed into the home. 4 people in the home were able to get out safely. The unidentified driver of the SUV died on the scene. Police investigate a fatal stabbing in Capitol Heights. The victim has been identified as 37-year-old Darius Gallion. He was found inside a business yesterday afternoon in the 4200 block of Southern Avenue. He died on the scene. A second man suffered non-life-threatening injuries in that incident. Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact police. He has served as a member of the Prince George's Board of Education, and now at the age of 22, Juwan Blocker has become the youngest person ever to be named executive director of the Maryland Black Mayors Organization.
Recently, we've had flooding, and that has impacted a lot of municipalities, specifically under the umbrella of the Maryland Black Mayors, Inc. And so that's one of my biggest concerns. We're still dealing with evictions, after dealing with COVID-19. And so that's another big issue that we're currently taking a look at and trying to address. But then on top of that, bringing it back to the upcoming election on October 5th on Zoom, we're hosting what we like to call the home stretch discussion with a member of the Prince George's County Board of Elections to discuss and answer any last-minute questions that residents and constituents have about the upcoming election. We're definitely much involved in that as well.
Blocker says his youth gives him an advantage during the pandemic because his social media and Zoom skills are critical during this time period. After months of being closed because of the pandemic, the county's animal shelter is open again. The facility reopened this morning. It's resuming pet adoptions, but by appointment only. For more information, contact Animal Management at 301-780-7201. Another setback for the Washington football team. Washington falls to 1-2 after losing to the Cleveland Browns yesterday 34-20. While the team showed some progress on offense, it had too many turnovers to overcome.
Trying to do too much, trying to make a play or fit into a window, kind of in a scenario where we're, move back into a chain, 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 12 or whatever the case or scenario may be, and trying to get it all back. Kind of what happened as far as a couple of those interceptions.
The only way we're going to truly find out where Dwayne is and what he can do for us is to put him back on the football field and let him get exposed. That's how he grows. That's what we did with Cam Newton, and look where he is today. Cam Newton was a league MVP because we trusted him. We took our lumps with him. I'm going to take my lumps with Dwayne right now. Again, as long as he continues to do things that show you that he can make things happen, I'm going to support the young man. I'm not going to pull the plug on him just because something like this happens.
Everybody makes mistakes, things happen, and we put it on us as a defense. We were bad at sudden change today. When the offense did come around and get us up, we didn't make the plays that we needed to keep the lead and things like that. So everybody on each side of the ball, thinks that they can win and lose the ball game, and that's the mindset that each player, each position group has to have.
Washington will face off against a dynamic Baltimore Ravens team next Sunday. And that is all for this evening. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?